Hello, my name is Sally, and today I am going to give you my tips for how you can practice English at home. So, you may be wondering why I made this video. Well, I'm stuck at home right now because of a pandemic, and I know that you are stuck at home as well. I've been making videos for my own students for our online class, and I started thinking about you who maybe you were planning to come to the United States, but your plans have been put on hold because of this pandemic, but you still want to practice English at home. And I just thought I would make a video and share my tips with you. Some of my English tips may sound really obvious. So, for example, I'm going to say to practice English listening, listen to English. Of course, it's obvious, but what are you going to listen to? Well, it depends on your goals. If you are a beginner and you're very new to English and your listening skill is not as high as you'd like it to be, I'm actually going to advise you to start listening to English language videos. You can search like you did and find so many free resources for learning English and listening practice. There are websites that I will link below. But also you can practice with authentic materials. Just pick something that's a little bit lighter on the vocabulary. So for example, you could listen to videos designed for younger learners. You could listen to cartoons. You can watch cartoons. Websites that categorize news articles, for example, by English level. So I'll put some links to my favorites down below. If you're intermediate, my advice is follow your hobbies or your field of study. If you are a student or a career person and there is a particular field of study that you have been learning a lot of vocabulary related to that field, then I suggest find listening materials related to that field of study. You can find podcasts that are related to your interests. But I also suggest read in English. For example, find a book that you can access an audiobook version in English. So for example, Harry Potter. You can read Harry Potter in your language and then buy an English audiobook and listen to it. It's important that you read it in your own language first if you're an intermediate student, because sometimes you get frustrated when you don't know what's going on in the story and you may give up listening to it. So if you already know what's happening in the story, you're more likely to let go of what you can't understand and just continue listening. And then you'll recognize the scenes that you already know are coming. And that's actually very helpful for your listening. If you're an advanced learner, a suggestion I have would be to find university lectures. If you're a student, this is very valuable because if you're planning to study English or study in an English-speaking environment at a university, having the background of listening to lectures can be very helpful. But actually, lectures are helpful for you no matter what your field of study is. If you're a business person, you can find lectures designed for American students to learn business skills. That's going to help you increase your vocabulary in that field. For example, if you're a biologist, find biology lectures in English. That's going to expose you to that vocabulary related to your field and also help you improve your English at a higher level if you are an advanced learner. My tips for reading are going to be very similar to my tips for listening. Find materials if you are at a beginner level. There are leveled readers created for you. There is Easy English News that is very helpful. If you are at an intermediate level, you can follow your hobbies. You can find articles related to things that you're interested in. You can find books in English that you have read in your native language and read those in English. Those tips are going to be very similar, Both of those skills are input skills, and you just need to find resources that you're interested in. I will post some of my favorite links. For speaking practice, my advice would be speak to yourself. Walk around your house, act like a crazy person, and talk to yourself about everything. This is good practice. And I know there's nobody correcting your grammar, but it's okay. At this point, just speaking to yourself is good practice for recalling vocabulary related to a lot of different topics. So if you have read a book recently in English or an article in English, talk to yourself about it. Pretend that you are telling someone about the article you read, and it will help you reinforce the vocabulary that you may have just learned. So speaking out loud to yourself is great practice. If you are trying to practice writing, I suggest keeping a blog. Write your thoughts, your daily thoughts, summarize things that you've read. If you're a more advanced learner, for speaking and for writing and for reading, actually, I think a good practice would be to make projects for yourself. So for example, maybe you challenge yourself to research something you're interested in and make a video about it. You don't have to show the video to anybody else, but by making this project, you are researching your topic. So you're reading in English, you're learning vocabulary related to that topic. Then you are writing because you're going to plan a script out for what you want to say, or even if it's not a script, you're going to think about what points you're going to cover. You're probably going to take notes. And then the actual recording of the video is going to be your speaking practice. And maybe your listening practice is when you go back and watch yourself. And, I think it's really great if you're willing to post it on YouTube. If you find something that you're interested in and can make videos about it regularly, it will hold you accountable, both in doing it regularly and also considering your language and considering what kind of material to put up. It's really good practice. If you don't want to publish it, you can just keep it. And there's value in that too, because a year from now, you can look back at the videos you made and see how much you've improved. All right, those are some of my tips to help you practice English at home. And I hope you enjoyed this video.